Well, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it may be where you are. You can see behind me I've done some moving around. Trying to make some space here because today I'm in maintenance mode and doing something that I put off for far too long. This is my Yellow Blaze 2011 Mustang GT, my daily driver. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing some maintenance and care. Not oil changes or anything like that. This stuff. I live out in the middle of nowhere on a gravel road, and ever since we moved, I've been so dedicated with other things. This car's been a little bit neglected. The paint is still in good shape, but it's covered under some gook. It needs some love and care. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be pressure washing it. I'm going to use a clay mitt on it to clean up all the debris off of it, and then we're going to put on a nice coating on it and clean it up real good, do the wheels and tires, clean all the glass, clean up remnants of trash and vacuum and scrub, and get this thing back into shape. The paint looks good, but it's got a lot of stuff on it, a lot of buildup. I need to take care of this before it gets too out of hand and ruins my paint. So we're going to get started. fan noise. We're back in the garage now, and it's hot in here, so that's why the fan's on. You can see that over there. Currently about 94 degrees, about 90% humidity. We've got the wash job done. For the most part, the paint feels really good. I am going to go ahead and clay bar it though. The problem is I'm waiting on the clay mitt and the solution to get here, which is an Amazon order. It's not here yet. Now you'll notice we've got a couple of areas here where the paint's just kind of a little bit faded on the plastic parts. Got some paint chips. But overall, I want you to look at this. This is after a wash before I've done the clay bar. Folks, this car is 16 years old and has over 100,000 miles on it, and it still looks like this. I'm impressed. First thing I'm going to do, since I'm waiting on the clay bar stuff to do the outside, is I'm going to do the inside, starting with the trunk. Something I found in the trunk that I found kind of interesting and very touching, actually. And this will be directed to my friends. This was a plaque presented to me right before I moved to Dallas in 2013. It's the last gig I played with my old band. And kind of touching. They gave me a plaque on my last gig. That's after decades of playing music with those guys, so I thought that was really nice. That's going up in the garage. Looking inside here, just a collection of crap. Now I do have a seat cover that I put in my back seat when I'm carrying my dogs with me. I'm going to that is currently in the back seat. I'm going to pack that up and put it back here, but first I'm going to clean this trunk out. These, of course, are seat belts for the dogs. I'll be sure and leave those in there. And trash. My handy dandy umbrella. Got to leave that in there. Okay, that's that. Now it's time to vacuum. By the way, I highly recommend these if you have pets. Okay, taking a quick look now. Things are looking much better. It's amazing what a little vacuum job can do. Kind of dark in here. Found a couple of old air fresheners from a car wash down in Texas. They're still in the box. I'm going to use them. The back is clean. Seats are still dirty, but they're vacuumed, so I'm going to condition those and clean those next. As far as the trunk goes, I've got some work to do here, of course, from build-up. Clean this up here, get rid of all that dirt, but the trunk itself is good to go. Okay, for this section I'm going to be using Armor All Interior Detailer, some stuff I picked up today. Let's see how it does. Getting a better look. All up in there is now clean. That was rather filthy. This here, it's dirty looking, but this is abused after 16 years of carrying stuff in the back, but it looks much better. I have discovered that the stuff, the all black stuff that returns black trim back to normal, it doesn't really work that well. It works short term, but it ends up looking worse than it did before you use the stuff after a little while. So I try not to use that stuff. Again, this car is not going to be perfect. It's got 122,000 miles on it, and it's just got a lot of wear on it, but still a very nice car. Runs great, sounds great, etc. And here we are. Door panels look good. Seats look wonderful. Starting to get a little bit of wear and tear on the seats. Got a split right there now. Again, 122,000 miles, 16-year-old car. Got a little bit of breaking down right there. So I may look into getting a replacement upholstery kit for the driver's seat. Passenger seat and rear seats, of course, look great. No problems. Vacuumed out. Dash is clean. Of course, I'll come back and do the glass in a little bit. But for now, that'll work. Alright, what we're doing now is we're going to clay bar the car, except this time I'm using a clay mitt as opposed to a clay bar. The kit I've got comes with it. I'm using chemical eyes this time. Once that's done, I've got a spray wax detailer that I'm going to put on it, and we'll call it a day. So let's do it. And while not perfect, rock chips and wear and tear of a 16-year-old car aside, I think it looks great. Very impressive. A little bit of a smudge right there, not a big deal. Comes right off. Paint is nice and slick now. It's got standard issues right here. Clear coat's coming off. That's normal for a car that lives in the sun. But all in all, much improvement. Let's take a look inside. Interior is much cleaner. Smells much nicer. Got my umbrella back there. Everything is glorious in here. No problems. Now the car does need a polish. I'm not going to do that this time. It's simply too hot out here to do this, just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with. Yeah. Very, very warm. So we're not going to do that today. I probably would do that this fall. But in the meantime, she looks beautiful. And that's one more thing I can cross off the list so I can get back to this stuff. I did receive some parts for the Mustang today. I'm starting to trickle in some more stuff. Check this out. Of course, it is still getting sheet metal done, but I'm acquiring parts as I can. I had a big order on Summit, and I ordered on my Summit card. You get special financing if you spend more than a certain amount. I needed a $100 purchase to push it over that amount, so I got my flywheel. I am a clutch kit and a bolt and dowel kit for the clutch away from being able to mate the transmission to the engine. That is a 157 to 28 ounce balance, external balance flywheel to match the 28 ounce crank mount on the front. Sorry, it's just so hot out here. I'm having trouble stringing words together. But that will do that. And of course, I found out that I can get the clutch I need locally here without paying exorbitant shipping for $135. So as soon as I can, I'm going to go get that. Hit like and subscribe. Got Mustang content coming. I am about 6 days away from going down and finishing it up, as well as taking that coupe down and getting the interior done. Stick around.